Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, my co host, Jared.
Hello, I'm the co-host Jared.
You are the co host, Jared. Why don't you take us into the brewskis of the week?
Gonna play a bit of a repeat here. I got that Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry limited edition ice.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. So nice. It's got
And
all that
I
sweat on
have
it.
the one and only Coke and water. Don't sleep on water, you know?
Unless it's a water bed.
Well, yeah. That's such a bad joke.
I know. And
we
you just
actually
answered it nonchalant.
we actually have a lot to talk about this week.
Really?
We'll save the biggest for last, I guess. Let's talk about Netflix. Within the next year, they are going to have video games being released on their platform. They have hired an ex-EA executive to lead the development of that. I don't know if they're going to be like games Netflix made themselves, or if they're just going to like take certain games and put it on their streaming platform. But within the next year, they said that they will have video games on the Netflix platform. And at the moment, they have no intentions of raising the price of Netflix.
That is kind of terrifying to hear about, I'll be honest with you.
A little weird. A little weird.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of weird.
yeah, we'll definitely see. It depends on what games they put on there. Like if it's just mobile games or something like that, it's just kind of not worth it, to be honest with you. So next we had WitcherCon last week, which they showed off season 2 of Witcher for Netflix, which looked pretty good. And then they showed off Witcher 3. I think they're just calling it the complete edition for Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC, which is an enhanced edition. It has everything, and it just looks a lot better. It will be free. It'll be a free upgrade for anyone who owns the game already on those platforms. So,
And you did say PC. I heard that correctly, right?
yes. So if you are on PS5, you can, or Xbox Series X or PC. If you already own the game, like on an Xbox console or that same platform, you will have that game for free sometime later this year as the enhanced edition.
That's not another game I need to grind right now.
But it is.
I know.
It's fall, so you know when all the games release, that's when they're going to release it. That's all right. Also with that, there will be new free DLC with the game, and it is inspired around the Netflix Witcher show. So they will have skins for Geralt, Triss, and all of them, I'm sure.
Wait. Did you say like new DLC? Like it's going to be
Yeah,
content or just
new
skins and
DLC.
stuff?
It's not going to be as big as like Blood and Wine or anything like that, but it's still like
Yeah,
new
but
DLC
it's fucking DLC.
for a game that came out in 2015. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. Moving on, Battlefield 2042 will have crossplay. It'll be like Call of Duty, so you can opt out of it. So PC players, you can opt out and just play PC players. And same thing for console players. Now, so Series X and PS5 players can play together, but PS4 and PS5 players can't play together because they're on two different versions of the game, right? Because and Xbox One and Xbox Series X can't play together, like because the older gen will only have 64 players in their lobbies, so they can't even play in that.
That makes sense.
Also, they talked about how AIs are going to work in the game. The AIs, they can't use specialist abilities or anything like that. And so the way it works is games will always be full. So if someone leaves until they find another player to join that game, it's going to be that person's going to be replaced by an AI. But as soon as someone's able to join the game, the AI is gone and the real player's there. The players will, like actual players will always take priority over AIs. So you'll never be in a full match with AI people. Like if people are looking for a game, they'll get into your game. But until they find those people, you'll be facing AIs. And they say they're pretty smart. So we'll see how that turns out.
Smart as an AI can be.
Probably one of the most disappointing news this week. EA Play, which is the 29th of July, which is like their E3 press conference. They will not be announcing a new Star Wars game. At all. They did confirm that next year we will see a new Star Wars game. So probably Jedi Fallen Order 2. I'm guessing it's about time. And Probably Star Wars Battlefront 3 or something along those lines, or
You know, the only problem I have with the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is what other story can you really do now?
well, the ending's pretty open. They can kind of do whatever they want.
I mean, I guess they could extend it in that way, but I feel like the Fallen Order part is meant to expand upon what happened after the fall. Like that's there's supposed to be see more Jedi. So I feel like that if they do take Cal and expand upon his story, it should be less Fallen Order, more like the Cal Kestis story
Well, they might
or
call something
Kexis.
different, yeah.
If they want to do another Fallen Order, I feel like they could do Fallen Order 2 featuring new Jedi that got away during Order 66. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like personally, it'd be hard for them to make a
Oh, I mean,
good
Jedi's are still
follow-up
like
game.
after the fall, they're on the run all the time, so
Well, I
they
know.
can
Yeah.
incorporate a lot of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to wait another year for that game to even be announced, or a new one to be announced, like if it's Battlefront 3 or the Knights of the Old Republic game that they're working on. Um, Real quick, Luka Doncic is the 2K22 cover athlete. He'll be on the cover of 2K. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Sweet.
Microsoft is bringing back Clippy. He was the little pin, the you know what I'm talking about, the little pin with
Yeah, I know
eyes.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he will be back in Windows 11.
Sweet.
Yeah, after they went on Twitter and they asked for 20K retweets, and they'll bring back Clippy, and they got like 80,000. So
Holy shit.
yeah, dude's a legend. Battlefield 1 will be free next week. I don't know what day, probably Tuesday. So you will no longer have to pay for EA Play or Origin, whatever they call it. And me and Cody have actually played that game pretty
Yeah, you
recently,
told me about that.
and it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played Battlefield 1, it's actually worth getting into, to kind of hold over the hype till 2042. Yeah, and then new Zombies map came out last night. To a lot of praise. I'm seeing a lot of people like it, like Noah J, like Mr. Raffle Waffles, like Mr. Dow JD, people who are been playing zombies forever and they're like the main COD zombie YouTubers. They're liking it. The Easter egg was all right. I watched him solve it. It was all right. But the map looks really good. The new Wonder Weapon's great. So we'll probably play that here soon. But it looks good.
Hopefully, like tonight after this soon.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm actually surprised.
I'm excited to see the new map.
Yeah, we'll see. And then Microsoft. So Phil Spencer was on a podcast, and they talked about the new DualSense controller from PlayStation. And he said he really liked the controller, and that the Xbox Series X may get a new controller out of it. And he says that there is some work that we will need to do on the Xbox Series X controller after seeing the features on DualSense.
Oh,
so hopefully, I think the controller is great what they made, but I think what a lot of people talk about, if you look at the reviews of like the PS5 versus like Xbox, I think the one thing they do say is like the PlayStation 5 controller actually feels like a next gen controller, where the Series X one just feels like a more slimmer version of the Xbox One controller. But don't get me wrong, I love the Xbox One controller. But yeah, so we'll see what they add there. And then finally, the big one that got announced today, the Switch killer is here. Valve's new console, the Steam Deck, is a handheld console. It is a portable PC. It can play Steam games.
Holy shit.
All your Steam games, Control, whatever. Has the same screen as the Switch, 7 inches. It'll be 720p, but you get more games. Has a little bit of a worse battery life than the Switch. It's 2 to 8 hours. And they said like
Holy shit.
Yeah, the Switch is like 3 to 9.
Wow.
They said that if you're playing a game like Portal nonstop, you'll get about 4 to 5 hours. But it's a lot bigger. It weighs like almost twice the amount of a Switch, but it's bigger overall. It has touch pads on it like the Steam controller that they released a few years ago. And then obviously it has the normal buttons. It has 3 different versions. You can upgrade the storage with an SD card, but it has for $400 a 64 gigabyte internal storage, and then for $530, you get a 256 gigabyte SSD storage, and then with that one, you get an exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, and then for
Hmm.
$650, you get a 512 gigabyte SSD and an anti-glare etched glass screen. It is. I was looking at some things. It is like double the power of the Switch.
Hmm.
So, and what I think is good that has going. See, Valve always fails at consoles. Like they had the Steam console or whatever a while ago. Um, but like I feel like when a lot of people on Switch, they'll see a game and they're like, "Man, I can't wait for that to come on Switch," and then it never happens or it takes a few years. Now is this almost all games release on Steam. So there's no like, oh, I have to wait for this to come out. It's like, oh no, this is on Steam. I can play this on my Steam Deck now. So it's a smart play by them. Huge, huge market is about to be filled.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty cool. Like it looks big. It looks like the Switch has a very sleek design. This definitely looks like it looks like a PC. It's hard to say. It looks like a PC in handheld. But it's pretty powerful for what I gotta say. I don't know if I'm gonna get one. It releases in December. But it literally Nintendo fans were asking Nintendo for a more powerful Switch. Nintendo literally just said, "Well, here's a screen," and then Valve's like, "Don't worry, I'll do this myself." And they were gonna release this, so that's pretty cool. Finally, some competition in the handheld market.
Yeah.
The last time Nintendo had competition in that market was the PSP and like PS Vita, but Sony never supported those enough. Um, but yeah, what do you think of that? What do you think of the Steam Deck?
I think that's pretty good. I think that's gonna make Nintendo finally buckle down and either get serious about it or abandon it altogether. And I would prefer that they buckle down and take the shit seriously and do what they need to do in order to keep people getting their consoles. They need to take the Switch fucking I don't even remember the name of it. What's it, the fucking
OLED model?
OLED, yeah, or whatever the fuck, gay. They need to take that and completely thrap it. I was gonna say scrap it and throw it away. Take it, get rid of it, see what is challenging them right now, and they need to make something better. And
Yeah, I
I
agree.
pray to God that they do, because if they don't, they're dead in the dust. And like I like Nintendo for some of the games they have, but the problem is they need to do much better. And if they like, I mean, we've talked about it before. If they don't do better, they're just gonna maintain the status of like shitty, like frowned upon console and not a lot of games, exclusives and stuff like that. Like they need to take this seriously. And now that someone is challenging them, hopefully in a very, very I guess high regard, I'm hoping that they finally go, oh shit, okay, fine,
Yeah.
we'll take it a little bit seriously.
Yep.
But we'll see. I mean, this new console sounds exciting. It's probably not anything I'm gonna get. I mean, I've got a PC. I don't think I need a handheld unless it's something that really, really impresses me. Maybe. But we'll see. Yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool for like people who don't have a PC. They can get into that Steam community and like get into that market. Because there's so many games like on PC that you can't play on consoles. I don't know how
Yeah,
it's gonna run. Like, I don't know. Like, if you put DayZ on there, I don't know how that's gonna run. It barely runs well on like normal PCs. So like
that's a good point.
that will be a kind of wait to see thing. Um, but I mean, I think the selling point is you already have more games on this console than the Switch does
Yeah,
at launch, and it's more powerful, and it's everything people have been asking for besides the screen, because the screen is still 720p, but you're getting double the power. You're going to get double the frame. I'm sure you're going to get a lot better frames on there, and it'll just be cleaner. And having an SSD in this, in the two higher base model or the two higher models, like that's a pretty big deal. Like your shit's going to load extra fast. Um, we'll wait and see. Like I know they said they're gonna show more obviously later this year. We'll have to see how the OS is. We'll have to see like what it's all gonna entail. But it's basically a console. I was reading some things. You're probably gonna be able to just put Windows on this and run it like an actual PC as well. So
that's fucking awesome. So it's gonna
yeah,
be like a what like the Surface Pro, like one of those
yeah,
almost, except probably a
yeah.
little bit bigger.
So the modding, I'm sure, will be crazy on that too. Emulation is probably going to be huge on that console too. Um, that's actually a pretty good idea. Whoever can like turn emulation onto that first, they'll probably make a lot of profit on that before Nintendo sues them. But yeah, yeah, that's all. That's all I got this week. Obviously a new camera angle for me. I switched up the setup. I'll have a TV back here next week, so I'll do some cool things. Um, as I got stuff coming in, like different posters and stuff. So like during different seasons, like I'll have like a Halloween poster up there, some different things. So background will change a little bit next week. But yeah, that's all I got this week. Nothing like, I know we talked about a lot, but there's nothing really huge besides that that Steam Deck, which I didn't think was gonna be, first off, didn't know it was a thing, but
Yeah.
also didn't think it was, gonna release this year because of the whole chip shortage. But I saw a lot of people excited for it, like on Reddit, so that's pretty cool. Like I'm happy for Steam that they're hopefully doing something good, and they're finally gonna release a console that might last longer than 2 months. Um,
It's interesting because I read something about Steam today, and it was brief because I was at work and I just had a few minutes and I was just like bullshitting. And I read something that was like, Steam is this, it said something, the headline was, will Steam change forever, or is Steam going to be changed permanently or something like that? And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are they doing? And I'm sad I didn't have time to read into it because I didn't realize that this is what they were talking about. I just thought that they were doing something stupid on the, like, the fucking site and everything, or the
yeah.
launcher. Yeah, the fact that they're making this is going to be interesting. Hopefully it's something. I want more good come out of gaming than bad, because it feels like we've had a lot of negative recently. I don't know. We need some good news. I mean, I know we got a lot of good games coming, but the more the merrier.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going through my phone trying to see if I had anything else saved. Um, Nothing really. I mean, there's World War 3 got like relaunched. They're redoing that game. It was in early access for a long time. Um, and it launched and didn't do too well, so they kind of shut down production on like the game, and like they were still working on it, but they didn't add anything to the alpha, and now
Mm.
they're kind of releasing it. But it's going up against Battlefield, which is probably something you don't want to do. Um, Also, the Battlefield 1 being free, I'm pretty sure that's only on PC.
Oh, really?
I don't think it'll be on consoles. Um,
Huh.
but yeah, that's it. I haven't really bought anything either besides the TV. Like, I'm still waiting to get Almost Famous on 4K, which came out Tuesday, and I can't find anywhere. I went to so it came out Tuesday. I went to the Goodyear Best Buy. It wasn't there. I checked on the Best Buy app to see if it was like in stock anywhere around me. No. The next one was in like Yuma, which is 2-3 hours away. I'm not going there for a fucking movie. Walmart didn't have it. Target didn't have it in store. And then I think this Tuesday, A Quiet Place Part 2 comes out in 4K, so I'll be grabbing that too. But
Hmm.
yeah, other than that,
Yeah, I need to see both those movies.
yeah, you do.
I know.
I have, you know what's funny? I have Paramount Plus, and they're both on there.
Really?
Yeah, like 2's already on there streaming.
I have to see that. Yeah, I
Uh,
saw a trailer recently again. I don't know why I saw it. It was like maybe on YouTube or something, for A Quiet Place Part 2, and I was like, God, I really want to see those, but I just haven't sat down and watched them.
yeah,
It's like the what was the one I just saw recently? The Hateful Eight. I don't know if I talked about this in the podcast or not. I watched The Hateful Eight, and I know it's been out, and I know it was like really good, and I haven't seen it. And I just one day, I think I was out of town. I'd driven back home from being out of town, and I sat down. No one was in the house, so I sat down upstairs in the living room, turned on the big, nice, fancy sound bar, cranked that shit up, and I watched um The Hateful Eight, and it was great seeing a movie
Quentin
that I've
Tarantino.
wanted to watch for yeah, dude, it was so good. And I love the Quentin Tarantino, like, stereotypes. So when I was watching, I was like watching for a lot of stuff, and I was like, this is so fucking good. But it was like, it was a really good movie, and it's one of those things, like, every now and again I just sit down and watch a movie that I really want to, and I know I want to, and I don't. and it's always out of the blue. It's never planned. Like whenever I try to plan to watch a movie, I don't really do it. But I need to sit down and watch Quiet Place 1 and 2 because they
Yeah.
look great. And it's I mean, one of my favorite people, uh,
John
fucking
Krasinski.
yeah, fucking directed it, or was he the
He's the director, yeah.
producer?
And he
The
started it.
director, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, well, obviously, but
Funny thing about the Hateful Eight, because it's on Netflix.
no, is it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I have probably I've seen it, so it's completion, obviously. But I the past few years, I'll get in like a mood to watch that movie, and I'll always watch to like halfway, and then I always stop. I haven't
Really?
finished watching that movie in like 3 years.
Why?
And it's probably there's probably been like 5 or 6 times where I've started to watch it, and I just stopped watching it. I don't know why. I like the
Such a good
last
movie,
the
though.
last time I tried, yeah, but like once you watch it 2 or 3 times, like it just doesn't do the same thing for me.
Oh, that's
Um,
fair.
I think the last time I watched it, there was another movie I really wanted to watch, so I just turned that on.
Mm.
Yeah, Quiet Place 1 was pretty good. I think 2 is the better directed movie and just a better overall plot. We'll see. I did, which I haven't talked to you yet, Jared, but kind of put it out there. I do want to do more movie content on the channel. And not like podcast wise, but like make a video for that specific topic. Like
You should.
we'll always do the podcast. But I would like
Yeah.
to also do like rankings, maybe like every Monday or something like that. Or like just a movie video, like every
Yeah.
Monday, just on different topics. We could rank different shit. Like obviously the ranking the MCU will be still on the podcast because we've been talking about that on the podcast. But like, ranking MCU villains or doing just stuff around movies, our favorite horror movies, which I know we did on the podcast, but like just kind of that stuff and get more movie content because I've been watching a lot of movies again recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I have too. I feel like I've been diving a little bit more into it than I have,
Yeah.
like, recently. But, I mean, I know I've talked about this in the podcast as well, is I've really gotten into, like, movies a lot more since we started the podcast. I mean, like, ever since we've started talking a lot more, becoming friends and stuff, like, I've had more interest in movies, but as we've gotten into the podcast and getting serious with this, I've gotten even more into it. Like, I've always liked movies, but I feel like I've always watched, like, the popular ones, like, the ones that are people like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god," it's like Star Wars or fucking Lord of the Rings, which don't get me wrong, great movies,
Yeah.
but I've started going in places like I wouldn't ever have thought to watch before. Like, Hateful Eight was one, and I'm just using an example again. It was never a movie that I would have even remotely considered watching until I started, like, doing the podcast with you, and I feel like there's a lot, out there. Another one being oh, I always forget the fucking name of it with Leo DeCaps. Oh my god.
Shutter Island.
Yep. Yes, thank you. I don't know why I have such a hard time remember that fucking movie name.
Martin
Shutter Island
Scorsese.
was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking it's a great movie. That's another one, like, I'd seen it a long time ago, but I didn't really like it or appreciate it for what it was until after we got into doing this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I just feel it. I really am enjoying movies more, which is, like, I never thought I'd be that kind of person to do that.
Yeah. Movies are
A
very
lot of
cool,
fun.
man, because you like it's the same thing with music, but I feel like movies like on a visual level are just so much better. And that's how I prefer to like take things in. But
Yeah.
it the messaging that you can put into movies and the feelings that you get from movies, you just can't really get from anywhere else. Um,
Yeah.
and so I feel like it's a weird thing. I feel bad for people who don't watch like different types of movies. They just kind of watch the popular stuff. Um, I'm not trying to like movie gate people. Like if you watch just popular things, that's cool. Do you? But I feel like you're missing a lot. And even like Martin Scorsese is a very popular director. He's one of the best directors ever. So like even like just stuff made by like A24 or like some more indie films. Like uh there's just so many movies that come out that I feel like people haven't even watched that are like such classics and they just won't even give a chance because it's not like in the mainstream of movies.
Yeah.
Um, like Minari, which I know won some Oscars, but like still like still people probably won't even watch it. Like Minari was a good one. Um, there's just a lot of stuff that comes out that people just don't give a chance.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
big example, Blade Runner 2049. Like it bombed at the box office, made like $250 million, and that's one of the greatest sequels of all time. Like a lot of these movies that are high concept or just have deeper meanings that aren't just action or rom-coms or this and that. Like I feel like people need to give a chance. And I feel like you appreciate the bigger movies after that, because if you can look at a movie and watch it for what the director's trying to say, and not like I had to explain this to my mom, because when I got really heavily into movies, I started watching stuff, so I made her watch the same stuff, because all my
Yeah.
mom would do was watch like, you know, like Sandra Bullock movies, stuff like that. I'm not saying like, that woman stuff, whatever. And so one of the first ones I think I showed her was Interstellar. And I remember the movie ending and me like sitting here like talking to her about like the different themes and like what everything means. And she got to like really start appreciating stuff. So we'll watch things, and a good movie to watch is The Witch. Um because it's a horror movie, but it's not like, it doesn't present things to you. You have to like look for the meanings. It's hard to explain. To not go too spoilery, but there different characters in the movie act in certain ways to represent the seven deadly sins. But the movie never like says they're the seven deadly sins. It just shows you in different ways how they're acting. You have to kind of put it together. Same thing with The Lighthouse, like stuff like that. Like I feel like people should like really give a try and like look into and see like, oh, what was the director trying to say here? I feel like they just appreciate movies more.
Yeah.
I've even been watching like black and white movies recently. I've been watching like a lot of like 45, 50 horror movies. Um,
It's interesting you say that because I had a conversation with my girlfriend today while we were heading to go see. Well, by the way, I saw Black Widow today. Um, on our way to go see that, we were driving and I had my Spotify playlist on, and this is it's hard connection. But give me a minute here. Uh, we were listening to Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry,
yeah.
and I was saying like, "Oh, like, I really like these kinda songs." Like, I love older songs because it makes me f like, it feels not like, better to watch. Like, that older stuff I feel has more like, more you have more get more from it. I don't know how to explain it,
You
but,
have
like,
more of the
it's
artist.
yeah, it's better. Like, and like you're talking with these black and white movies, it kinda in that fashion, like, just getting into things that are older, it's a little bit nicer. And I was like, "Yeah, like, it's cool because this is from, like, the '70s," and she looked it up and goes, "This is from 1946," and I was like, "Holy shit," like, it's even older than I expected, and it's
Yeah.
I don't know, it's one of those things, like, listening to older artists, and I haven't seen a black and white movie recently, but, I mean, I just feel like the older stuff, like you said, just you get more from it.
Yeah. I think with entertainment, like the farther you go back, the more creative it gets. Like now, like
Yeah.
when we talk about movies, like they're still pretty creative, but you can see there's a lot of cookie cutter. Like we talk about the MCU being cookie cutter. Um, Same type of movie made over and over again. Like Captain
Yeah.
Marvel feels definitely like other MCU movies. But if you go
But
back to
somehow
like,
worse.
yeah, really, if you go back to like even just the '90s, like there was so much going on and like so many different like, there wasn't sequels to things. It was just new original ideas. Like you were at the height of Martin Scorsese. You had a lot of different action movies coming out. Horror was, getting big. Besides, like obviously horror's had a lot of sequels with like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, but even those movies, each one kind of feels different. And it's a different movie. Um,
Well, it's like we were sitting, I forget what the
Thanks
fuck what were we
Blizzard.
doing? What happened?
So I was scanning and repairing my Call of Duty right now, like while
Mhm.
we've been recording, and it just finished. And then it like blackened my screen, and it's like, hey, we did an update. Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, mine's going right now too. It's updating COD, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't pop up mine. Fucking Blizzard. What was I saying? So oh, yeah, okay. We were out, I think we were getting ammo or something, and we'd gotten back, and my dad and I and my girlfriend were sitting, in our living room just watching TV, bullshitting a little bit because it was getting late, we were getting ready to do our own things, whatever. And so my dad was just flipping through the channels, and he put on Jaws because Shark Week, didn't fucking realize it was Shark Week, and for the first time
I feel
ever,
like they always change the week of Shark Week.
right? It never feels consistent. I
It
always feel
never
like it's
feels like it's in
early.
July. It feels like it's in
It
June
always
sometimes.
yeah, like early summer. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I feel the same way. It's really weird. But he put on Jaws, and I had seen. First of all, I was like, "Oh, is this the first one?" And my dad looked at me and went, "It's the only one. This is the only Jaws." I thought it was really funny. But for the first time ever, I had seen the ending of Jaws. I had never seen it before, and I thought it was really interesting because like there's a lot of things out there where I know a movie and I know it's famous and I know there's scenes from it and I like I've seen things. I know about it, but I've never seen it. And I saw the ending to Jaws and I was like, oh, this is really interesting because I didn't know that it ended this way. Like I knew it ended with I mean, I don't even think I should
Oh, just
spoiler
spoiler. It's
alert.
from
Yeah,
so long ago.
from so long ago. But like they like I knew the shark died, but I didn't know how. I didn't know the lead up. I didn't know that so much happened in like that last
We're gonna need to bring
little
a
bit of
boat.
time. Yeah, it was interesting. And like you said, like movies like even like 90s, and I don't remember, was it 87 the Jaws was made?
It was earlier,
Was it earlier?
late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, anyway, like a little bit earlier, not as far back as like, the 40s, but like still a little bit later. Like movies like that, like it had a different feel to it. It was a nice like, oh, this is like actually pretty decent.
June
Um
20th, 1975.
75?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's old.
And it's still the best shark movie. So,
Yeah, I'll have to watch the whole thing in completion one of these days. But
yeah, I haven't seen Jaws in a while. I think the last one I saw was Jaws 3. Like, there's,
there's 3?
oh, there's 4. Pretty
I thought
sure.
there were only 2.
No, I'm pretty sure there's 4.
Holy shit.
Um, yeah, let me just double check that. Jaws,
Oh yeah, because isn't
only
there
3.
oh, there's 3? I was gonna say, because isn't there like a joke about there being like Jaws 11 or something in Back to the Future?
Probably, yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like I
Jaws
remember seeing.
3D, which is
Is it really called
it's Jaws 3D, yes. And
Jesus
I've
Christ?
seen this, and the shark gets blown up in that movie, and all the guts fly at the screen, and it looks so bad. And I get it's from the
Really?
80s. It's like 82 or 3. But yeah, the movies. So I watched the original House on a Haunted Hill from like 1954, 1953.
Wait,
Because the 90s one is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
yeah.
I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Creature
Huh?
from the Black Lagoon,
Ooh.
and then my aunt, one of her favorite movies. I don't know why. It's Them. And it is about giant ants that attack the world.
Huh.
So yeah, those are like the four or five main ones that I've recently watched.
That's pretty cool.
Um, yeah, black and white's all right. It's not something I can like. I have to be in the mood for it. I can't just sit there and watch like
Oh, for
any
sure.
random one. Like it's just not me.
Well, it's
Um,
like I know people who watch westerns, like black and white westerns, and
can't
like don't
do
get me
it.
wrong, that shit's cool. Like I'll watch some, but I can't watch it every day. Or like the Beverly Hillbillies. Is that
Yeah,
a black and white? Yeah. So that's one that a few years ago, when I go over to my girlfriend's families for whatever, for like the Thanksgiving and stuff, we would sit in before dinner because we'd be there probably an hour or two early. We'd sit and watch like the Beverly Hillbillies. And it was weird because it's like we just sit there and watch a black and white show for like an hour.
or like
And
Mash. My grandpa loves Mash. It's
I've
not
never
black and
seen
white,
MASH.
but like it's
It's
Gilligan's Island.
older. Yep. Yeah. There's a lot
And
out there that's like it's good, but you know,
yeah, a lot of
old.
those they're just so corny. And I know it was because of the time, so I just can't watch them.
Three
Um,
Stooges.
yeah, Three Stooges, like still, like it's just not even that fun. Like I know at the time it was great, but like just not
Yeah.
for me. Um, I had a train of thought that I was gonna put out there.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. Um, God, what was it?
God, can you just imagine grown adults laughing, like actually hysterically laughing at the Three Stooges from that time period?
Oh, I remember what it was. Yeah, it's so weird.
Would you
So
remember, Dad?
a video that I would like, one of the videos I thought we could do, which other movie channels do, but I like the idea as well, is like a what I watched in this month. So you could come together and say like, hey, here's all the movies I watched, and we could do like a quick like synopsis and like review of it, like, you know, a minute per movie or a minute and a half, kind of talk about it, and do
That'd be
that for
cool.
like every month, because a lot of those videos, like I've seen a few of them, and it's like, oh, I've never seen that movie, like I'm gonna go watch that. It's a cool way for people to learn about movies. Um,
That'd be really interesting if we did like every time we watched a movie for the month, we'd write it down, and then like the last or the first of like the next month, we'd do a
yeah,
thing about it. And at the end of the year, we could do like our favorite movies from each month, like the
yeah,
top movie we watched each month of the year. That'd be pretty neat. I
yep.
think we should try to do
Um,
that.
yeah, I've been watching a lot of indie stuff too. A lot of indie horror, but nothing too big. Nothing really that's blowing me away, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Fair.
But alrighty, that's all I got for us this week. We'll see you next week. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Please, in the comments, stop saying we're like another podcast. I get it. I get it. They stole our thing too. Like,
You
so,
know, none of those people commenting are gonna be this far
I
in.
know. So, for context, people keep commenting on the YouTube videos saying that our podcast is like another podcast. The issue is that we had our logo and our name on SoundCloud and like had episodes out before they even made a YouTube channel for that show.
Yeah.
So
We were like, what, 40 episodes in when they first made theirs or something like that, or
we were
30
like
episodes?
15, 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Probably
so
more.
I've only uploaded to our YouTube page episode from like episode 19 and on. Because
Oh,
at the time, if people don't know, like this channel was originally called like, I forget the name, Viper or something like that along those
it was
lines.
Viper. Yeah.
And it was just like my personal channel. Um, and so I never uploaded the podcast to the channel. I was just uploaded it to like SoundCloud, Spotify, stuff like that. And then when we decided to change it to this, I started uploading it. So it was like episode like 19 or so. But we had like 6 months on them. So we keep getting comments about it. It's so fucking annoying.
I wonder, do we or what? Do you still have all of the first like episode 1 through 20? Do you still have all? Like, do you save every episode?
It's on SoundCloud, yeah.
But, like, do you still have the files that you
No,
could, if we want it?
they're so like a
They're big.
file like, so that the first episode we did was 3 hours. That's probably 50 gigabytes of rendered footage.
So, like, if we wanted to save each one just in case, or just to have, we'd have to like buy like external
I'd have to
fucking
buy like
terabytes and
a
terabytes.
10 terabyte external drive to hold all our podcast episodes.
Okay, I was just curious because I was gonna ask, like, what if we went and took all of our first few episodes, like 1 through 20 or whatever, like isn't on the YouTube channel, and did and like posted on the channel for anyone who wanted to like have it on
I
YouTube
could probably do
instead.
something like
But
that.
I'm not saying we have to. I'm just saying it'd be interesting to do so and to be like, hey, here's the first few that we just didn't
Yeah,
post
it
on
would be
YouTube.
hard because there's no video for them. Like there's
Oh
not
yeah.
me and you on camera. It's also weird, like to think about like how like where the podcast started and where we are now. Because like if you go watch our first episodes, you can definitely tell there's a little bit of like camera shy. Like it's not like even though we weren't showing ourselves, like we were definitely like it was
Oh
stressful.
my god. It was weird
Um,
because we're used to talking to each other and like it's
yeah,
when it's real natural. Like I think we're at that stage now, but like going from like talking just us and then knowing we're talking to like a recording, it's just like it's almost robotic and it's really weird. And it
yeah,
almost like it's almost like if you catch someone, if you hit record, like we would do in our Go XLRs, if we record someone they don't know, like they sound natural, they sound cool. But if you're like
yeah,
doing it on purpose,
That guy's
like
a bitch.
you're not able to like adapt to it. It's weird, but you're right. I mean, it's so weird to think. And I actually
yeah,
a couple months ago I did that. I went back and listened to an older one and I was like, ooh, I don't like the way we sound then. Like I
yeah.
feel like we sound better now.
It's definitely that YouTube thing because like if you go and look at like my actual YouTube videos that I did, when I go back and watch them, I kind of cringe a little bit because I'm very like I'm trying too hard to like be like super. I don't even know how to say it, like on script. and I'm being too wordy. And like now I feel like we're at the point where like we could probably get on the podcast and talk for like 4 hours and be fine.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but yeah, if you go back and listen to those like early YouTube videos of us, like the first episode's a little bit of a struggle because it's a lot of like it's a lot of ums and us just kind of trying to explain things but don't know how, and yeah, obviously us running the podcast way too long. 3 hours is a rough one on anyone.
And didn't we have like a big wasn't our big guest on episode 10? Like wasn't that really, really
Yeah,
early? Was
so
it episode 5?
we had Sean Chandler talks about um he has I think he's at like almost 200K now in subscribers,
Yeah.
or he's been past 200K. I don't remember. At the time he was at over 100K, and I reached out to him. He said he'd be on the podcast, which was very dope. He's a very nice guy.
Oh yeah, he was very nice.
We've actually sent like movie stuff to each other. I haven't talked to him like almost a year, but after the podcast, we did kind of talk for a few more days, which was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like episode 10, and I had no clue what I was doing. Like going back and listening to that, I didn't have things prepared the way I should have had them prepared. And
Yeah, we were
a lot of the questions, like, so I remember when I reached out to him, I was like, hey, like, this is kind of the podcast idea. Like, I had a rough like what I wanted to do, but I didn't have anything like set in stone until until I hit record on the podcast.
yeah.
Like then I started thinking of the questions, like, oh hey, this, and it turned out to be a decent podcast. Like people liked it. I'm
Oh,
pretty
for
sure
sure.
it's still our most like listened to on SoundCloud and Spotify and stuff.
Well, wasn't there a thing like after he was on our podcast? Wasn't there a bunch of people who were like, "You want to be on my podcast? You want to be on my podcast?" And he have to be like, "All right, guys." Was there
Yeah,
something like he
so
tweeted out?
I don't know if he's, because I know he started his own podcast. I don't know if he still goes on podcasts, but yeah, for a while there after he did ours, there was a lot of people trying to get him onto theirs. And what I told him, which was true, was like we're roughly getting like 200 to 300 viewers a week, like on all platforms combined. So
Mhm.
uh I told him that. So it was beneficial for him because even though 200 doesn't seem like a lot, like that is a lot of people, because one person can recommend your YouTube channel to another, and that's, they can keep recommending. So that's 10, one turns into 10. So it
Yeah,
was worth it for him, but uh he had to like publicly or not publicly, but I'm sure he turned down a few podcasts because they just didn't have any viewers, and why go on there, right?
yeah.
Um yeah, it's got to be a weird spot, but
Oh, for
yeah,
sure. I'm
God,
just waiting for someone to contact you, be like, "Hey, you want to be on my show?"
yeah. Um, yeah, we need to start doing that. We need to start going on some other podcasts,
Oh, for
like
sure.
branching out, but too busy. Um,
Oh, yeah. Until we have some more free time to actually sit down and be able to contact people,
yep.
it's gonna be rough for a while.
That's why you should subscribe to my OnlyFans. Start paying me to do this.
I
Be
mean,
cool.
we get enough people on TikTok, we start getting some money there too.
Yeah, so the TikTok's made. I just haven't uploaded anything to it because the first videos I'm going to upload to the TikTok is the MCU rankings.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna like I'll edit it to where like in the TikTok it's like a minute, and it's like here's part 1 of our ranking, and it's like 22 to 16, and then here's part 2 and 16 to 10, and then part 3 10 to 1. Like that's how I'll break it up. But and then after
I just
that we'll
want
have
to
a
say I
lot.
had a wave of disgust when I thought about being on TikTok.
Yeah, so after that there'll be a lot. There'll be TikToks weekly, almost daily, probably. Because I'm just gonna cut up the podcast and put it on there. But I also like it when we do these videos of like these separate videos from the podcast of us just talking about movies. Like I'll probably also like cut those up and put those on YouTube.
Well, I feel like it also couldn't hurt. I mean, I know it'd be a lot more difficult to do, but like if we do TikToks instead of it being like during recording time or like while we're talking about stuff related to podcasts, like if you just take TikToks of us doing funny shit or talking about funny shit
Oh
throughout
yeah,
like the week, I mean that could be interesting because it's going to give people a bit of a
I'm trying to beat
uh
Addison Ray, man. We gotta get popular.
okay, yeah. Get people a bit of an insight on like on our daily lives, like when we're just chilling, like at the end of the day, right before we're going to bed and everything, and just bullshitting. Like I feel like that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to be I'm going to try to distance myself from the TikTok. So if it ends up being fun, maybe I'll get involved in TikTok, which that means I've got nothing to live for. So we'll see what happens. Maybe you guys are going to drive me over there. I mean, no, what? Don't,
Yeah. It as a TikTok user myself, I don't mind the disgust and the depression it brings me to be on TikTok. So
I went on TikTok today and set my girlfriend a TikTok, and it was gross. Like I felt disgusting afterwards. I had to wash my hands. I almost
they're
burned my
so funny
phone.
sometimes though. Like
There are some somewhat comical
like
TikToks out there.
I think my favorite TikTok, which I sent Cody last night because I it came up like my feed again. It's like this girl, she's reacting to like this guy who puts like this vibrant fish net on this dirty lake. And she goes, "Oh, do you think just because you put something pretty over something ugly means that it's not ugly anymore?" And then this young kid comes up and he's like, "Isn't that why you bitches wear makeup?" And I was just dying laughing again. That one's so good. It really hits the nail in the coffin.
There are a few TikTokers that I actually kind of like. The one that we got into watching way months ago, the guy who was like the band kid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's pretty funny. There
Well,
were a few
it's
that were
weird because we
fucking
know those
hilarious.
kids.
Oh, I know.
Like,
That's why it's so funny is because he's making fun of things that I've had to witness.
yeah.
Another one is it's a guy, he always wears like the glasses and he has like the really slick back hair. I don't know his name or I don't follow him on TikTok, but I see his TikTok and I think he's funny as fuck. And then there's a girl who does like the dog cleaning, and I really like her content. But like that's it. Like I don't like to branch out further than that because heaven forbid I become addicted to TikTok. Then I just have to stop. And that's
Yeah,
I don't want to
TikTok's a
become
naughty
you and have
place.
a problem. Because I remember when we used to queue up in a COD in between rounds, back when David still, back when our buddy David played COD with us, and in between every single match, you'd be on TikTok and you would ignore us, and we would talk, and you would just fucking ignore us because you're sitting there, ooh, TikToks, ooh, and you're like, I have to get my fix, guys, because I'm going to be shitting at people this next round. I have to get my fix. And you were a little shit
I
about
never
it.
said I had to get my fix, to be
You
fair.
did.
I
You
tried
at
watching
least
like
one
some
time.
girl shake her ass on TikTok and was just
And
memorized.
that was you getting your fix. That's what
Like
I'm saying.
my Instagram's that as well. Um,
I purged my Instagram and all that crap because I'd see
so I
you'd
also
send it
did
to me and
recently. But I left a few good ones on there.
no,
I left
I
a few.
purged literally everything except for like there was one person I left on, like Rihanna, but like she isn't technically one of those people, so I was like, it's whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I purged fucking everyone.
there was
I
a
needed
point where
to.
I was like actually addicted to TikTok. See, the problem is with that app is it gives me new content all the time. So I can like reload that app and there's something new for me to watch. And so that was my issue. So yes, during COD, when we'd be in between rounds, I would immediately hop on TikTok and forget I had friends because I was too
Yeah,
busy watching funny entertaining
yeah.
videos. So and girls shaking
I
their
almost
ass.
wish I would have almost preferred that you had a girlfriend that you'd be texting and ignoring us over like in between rounds instead of being like, oh, sorry, I was watching TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok.
Yep. Fuck girls though.
I mean, never mind.
Don't even say it. What funny about TikTok? I know you want to say something, you little bitch. I fucking hate you. Um, so if you go to my Instagram, which I'm not going to link because of this, if you like before, if you went to my followers, it was just nothing but like uh attractive girls, not naked, but you know what the guy thing is. Like Summer Rae. Don't show my Instagram, you bitch. I will show yours to the millions, the hundreds of listeners.
Let's see, who are you following on here? Oh, look at all these followers. Look
I'm
at all their
following
followings.
1,000 people on Instagram.
You're not. You're following 199.
That's how many
Oh,
followers I have, you
oops.
fucking idiot.
Oh, that's right. You only have 200 followers.
I don't
You fucking
post.
you fucking plebe. Guess how many followers I have? 608.
Do you want to
You,
know why you have that many followers? Should I tell the people what you used to do on Instagram?
I'm not embarrassed.
You're not?
What did I used to do, Damien?
Jared used to be a Halo role player on Instagram.
Not role player. I just pretended. Well, I guess it is role playing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't do role play. I just posted and pretended to be Tucker from Red versus Blue. It was fun as shit. Look at all these fucking people you follow, you dirty boy. I can't even see the
The
names.
last time I uploaded on Instagram was April 22nd. And it was a picture.
This year?
It was a picture of a cloud. I know you can't really see it. It's a picture
Oh,
of
I
a
remember that
cloud.
picture. That was a cute picture.
Yeah, it's God's penis hole from the cloud. I have some really cool stuff on Instagram.
Here, there's one you're following right there in the middle. That one, Lily, the booty there.
Yeah. I got some really cool stuff on my Instagram.
That's what she's posting right now.
Yep, see, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys could see, but in the reflection of my phone, you can see my camera's lights.
Wow.
Fuck you, kid. All right, you got porn.
Here's me holding a base set hollow Charizard. I know it's hard to see.
Hey, I have
and a Blastoise. Like actually ones.
You guys want to see? The cards that I got from Damien that I bought from him?
But yeah, my last selfie was April 27th of 2018. Yes, Guzzlord.
Ooh, these are sticky. We got Lapras. Love Lapras. We got Articuno, my favorite legendary. We got fucking Glaceon. Yeah, I just forgot the Eons. Flareon. Jolteon. Vaporeon.
Yep.
By the way, I didn't tell you this, and I don't think you give a shit, because I literally don't know anyone that I'm close with who plays Pokemon Go anymore. But while I was at my grandfather's wake, I was sitting there with my siblings because I was sitting there on my phone because my siblings were hiding over in one of the corners because it was 4 hours long and this was towards the end, and they were just chilling in the corner. So I went over with them and I pulled up my phone, pulled up Pokemon for shits and giggles, and there was a shiny Apom, the monkey, and I was like, "Holy shit, it's shiny!" So I caught that bitch. I just thought I'd tell you because shinies are so much fun.
Yeah, I played like 5 minutes of Pokemon Go, and that's all I played in my life. My story to this was, so my Instagram at the time was just littered with women, like doing whatever. And so when I hopped on Instagram, I was like, or not Instagram, TikTok. I was like, you know what? This is different. This is only going to be for, like funny content or stuff I really like. And I will say, I've held that pretty well, but there's a lot of girls shaking their ass on my TikTok. So I don't even think
you still follow quite a few hoes on Instagram. I found a few here. Jesus.
Why are you going through them?
Oh, there's Addison Rae.
Well, I follow her.
Channing Tatum.
Who doesn't follow
Erica Costello. I don't.
You don't follow Channing Tatum?
I'm not that much of a fan of Channing Tatum. I respect him as an actor. That's about it. You follow Mia Khalifa. That was horrible. I click on that. Okay, she is some kind of.
Now you're making me like self-conscious about who I follow.
Travis Scott. Oh, she's kind of pretty. What'd she do? Oh, she's what is she?
What's her name?
Actress. Zoe Deutch.
Zoe Deutch?
Is that what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, I follow all the Kardashians. I'm pretty sure.
I've
Besides
noticed.
Chloe, I don't like Chloe.
Ew, you follow fucking Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
JJ Watt.
Yeah, I follow JJ. Dallas West.
I don't know who this is, but I'm not able to follow them. Their thing's privated.
What's the name?
Queen.hey, me versus me, Blackheart.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you.
Of course you don't.
No, I actually don't.
Oh wow, that's someone who shakes her butt on Instagram.
What's her name?
Let's see. You don't need to know.
I follow her. What do you mean I don't need to know?
Exactly.
I'm going through this. I don't remember seeing a lot of these people.
Mia Maklova? Yeah.
Well, you blame me?
I don't even know who that is.
She's a porn star. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She also is on Twitch. Did you know that?
I do. Pretty sure I follow Lana Rhodes too.
I haven't seen that one yet. Todd Gurley. Oh, duh. I was like, who the fuck's Todd Gurley? Damian Lillard.
Of course, gotta follow the boy.
You follow a lot of fucking like famous people. You're kind of like the person who I don't like on Instagram.
What do you mean?
I hate when people have social media and just follow famous people. I mean, like I follow what, like 230 people or some shit, and maybe like 80 of them are famous. I can't stand following famous people. They drive me nuts. I don't like seeing people's like famous people's opinions. We talked about this. Like they're disconnected from poor people.
But like, if you go through my Instagram, like, because you know how Instagram, like, it only shows you like what you looked at the most. Like, you go through my Instagram, it's mainly like ESPN, like a few girls, obviously, like Call of Duty stuff, Shutter, which is like a horror movie thing, guns, like
Mine is a model that I don't remember. Like it's French, so I don't even know why I follow this person. And then Destiny, and then I get a bunch of ads, and then the stories at the top are just people that I used to work with, like so old friends. I don't know why you have so many like. I don't know. And there's Lady Gaga.
I follow Lady Gaga.
No, I do. I'm sorry, I was talking about mine.
Oh, I was about to say I'm about to unfollow.
We're gonna one of these times we're gonna have to go through and just like rate, like just go through Instagram on a podcast to fuck around.
I think the best is like when you go to like a girl's TikTok or like her Instagram, you look at the comments.
Dude,
some of those comments. I mean, we've watched the Cody Co videos. That's where the inspiration comes from. But some of those comments are fucking wild. Like, actually, let's do an experiment. I'll go pick a hot girl, like famous.
Alexandria Daddario.
All right, I'm pretty sure I follow her.
I just want to say while you're looking her up, I am on iFunny, unfortunately, and there are a lot of times you get memes that are basically softcore porn in the featured section, and you get people in the comments. You have to go deep. I mean, there's like thousands of comments. You have to go really far in, because most of the early comments are making fun of the fact that there's like softcore porn on a meme app. But if you get really, really far into the comments, you start seeing people who are like, if it's a woman who just like has a big butt, and even if she's not even remotely naked, she's just a cute girl with a big butt. They're like comments like, "Oh my god, like let me be your something, you're my goddess," and it's disgusting because like you go to their profiles and then you see like reposts of like people like girls on there, and they just all they're talking about is like, oh mommy, let me slurp those up. Like it's disgusting shit, and like they have their own faces, like their own personal pictures, and they're like 40-year-old men or like they're young like 16-year-old kids, and like it's fucking weird that people can talk like that with their own face. Like there's someone I follow who's she's a Twitch streamer. I think she's a Twitch streamer. I can't remember now. I don't remember, but I saw it somewhere. It was on a video, and there was someone talking about it where this girl who does like she's some kind of streamer of some sort. I'm almost positive it's Twitch. They're talking about her, and she was like making fun of a guy who like was DMing her, being super inappropriate, like saying all these nasty things, like sexual things to her. And she's like, "You have your profile's public, like you have then your full name and your profile picture, and all your posts on there are like of you and family." And she's like, I could send this to your wife, like you could be fucked. Like, why are you talking to me like this? And like exposing him. It's crazy people do that.
The most down bad people are porn stars' Twitter's account. If they post like a picture and you go to the comments on Twitter or like the replies, dude. Anyways, so one of the ones that I found is this guy just barking over and over again, woof woof bark bark. And then he also put just a little taste of your spit, please. I need it.
Oh, is this on Alexandria Daddario?
Yeah. One sniff, please. And then, bro, I'm that down bad that I want her to shoot me and not apologize, bro. I need her. What is it? I need her tears so I can get a sniff and keep it as a collection.
Dude, what the fuck? Like, you have to think, are people doing that for a meme, or are they really just that down bad? That's so sad.
Yeah.
There was one, oh my god, I was actually like reading, it was a Twitter post of a Reddit thread of people talking about their like most like their worst down bad moments. And there was a guy who talked about uh it was something like it was like ice that looked like a boob, or ice that some it was like a piece of food that looked like a boob, and before he ate it, he jerked off to it and then ate it. Like that kind of down bad is like it's not even, it's just sad. It's so sad.
I don't even know what this means, but this guy put I can smell her shit scissors for days. Like what? What?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think Twitter's
Yeah, that's
worse
why
because people get very personal on Twitter for whatever reason.
Twitter is disgusting. I think Twitter should be deleted off the internet forever. And then all the people who are Twitter tards, um, full offense, all the Twitter tards should just fucking migrate to like 4chan or Reddit and stay there and never involve themselves in others ever again. Cause I think Twitter is a cancer. Um, that being said, follow us on Twitter, obviously, but I cannot fucking stand Twitter. That is why I had such a hard time like making a personal account, keeping it like, especially for the podcast. Like I want us to be on there. I want us to like have the connection and be able to talk with people on social media. But personally, I cannot stand Twitter. Um,
So I went to
hate it.
Abella Danger's Twitter.
Oh, dude, think about Bella Delphine. That's one you would.
Oh god. And one of the first things to her first like Twitter that she like her newest tweet is I want to rip off your underwear and shove my face between your thighs and have you squash my head like a melon while smothering my face with your juice.
Oh,
I will savor every drop trickling down your lips. Then you can then you can peg my tight ass until I can't sit down for a week.
oh.
Now that sounds like a fun time though.
You
I,
should
I
look up. You should look up Danielle Bergoli's, because that's a nasty one. Especially the fact that like people were wanting stuff from her for years, and she just turned 18.
Yeah,
That's
and
gonna
I
have
know
some
some of them are
fucked
fake,
shit.
like, but dude, some of these guys are just so they're just so down bad.
The problem is you get people who are like, you get people's like dirty old uncles or dirty old grandpas who are like, they've never like had a woman for a long experience, like extended period of time, or like they were married and like it ended and they've never had a girlfriend or a marriage since. It's like they've had like 50 years of no touch, and it's like they are now experimenting with social media and they just go on these places not thinking, like they don't understand the internet like people like us do, and they just say shit like, you know, let me sniff you daddy, or mommy, or some stupid shit like that. And it's just like, dude, like people can see like you,
Yeah.
like people that you're related to could find this like, oh,
You know what's the worst? The guys who buy girls stuff off their Amazon wish list. That is when you like if I'm ever at that point where I'm gonna buy some random girl something off her Amazon wish list, my life is it's done. It's time. Like
yeah.
I've lived my life. Like
Like
I just
there's
can't fathom
here's the
that.
thing, if you know this person, like if you're friends with them and it's like, oh, like I went to school with this person, and we kind of talked and I haven't talked to him in a while, maybe I'll like shoot this a gift and be like, hey, we should talk, blah blah blah. Or if it's like, say it's you and me and I have no idea what the fuck I should buy you because you're a bitch and never tell me what you want, like I'm like, oh, what should I get this motherfucker? And it's like, oh, I'll go on his Amazon wish list. That, to an extent, would be okay, but,
Yeah.
like, if you don't know this person, if it's like if one of us went on, it's like fucking, uh, the porn star name, I don't know, fucking Mia Khalifa, and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on her Amazon wish list. I'm gonna buy her this $5,000 thing that she really wants, and she'll notice me. Like that's fucked.
And the
That's
funny
where
thing
it's
is,
too
she's
much.
not gonna notice you. Like
Yeah,
half the time,
yeah,
these girls don't even say your fucking name in the video, which I feel like is like the enjoyment that people get out of that. Like
yeah,
I was thinking about this the other day. Like let's say Twitch, right? When you subscribe to someone, you you're just waiting for them to say your name.
yeah,
Like that's all you want. Which I
yeah,
mean, trust me, I get it. But like
yeah.
you're gonna spend $5,000 for this bitch to say your name? Like, go subscribe to her OnlyFans, which I know we talked about
Right?
you shouldn't do, but like, I feel like it'd be better to spend $5 to $20 than $5,000.
Yes.
Like, oh my god, man.
And that's the thing, like, talking about, like, waiting for people to say your name if you're following or subscribing or whatever in Twitch, like, that's why I like smaller streamers or streamers that, like, even if they are a little bit bigger, they actually read the chat.
Yeah,
Um, because that's just, like, it's nice to be able to, like, even though it's not personal, but, like, say something in the chat like, "Oh, that was cool," or, "Hey, blah, blah, blah," and they're like, "Hey, thanks," like, that's awesome. And it's not like they don't respond every time, but, like, every now and again, they're responding. I know I think I talked about this person before. There's a Twitch streamer I follow, she does music, and she's fucking dope. Like, she has a whole bunch of her own stuff all over Spotify and other things. She'll sit and, like, she takes requests, and she doesn't play unless she gets a request, and she's always got a bunch of people in there. And she's like, "Alright, I'm gonna do this request," and, like, after between songs, she takes, like, 10 minutes between songs, waiting for another request. Because I mean, it's I know there's a backup and everything on it, and she likes to do whatever, but she'll sit and talk to people in chat, and she, like, responds to just about everything, and it's really cool because, like, even though she's got, like, between 80 and 100 people in there, she'll respond to most of them, and I mean, I think she does, like, a followers only. Like, I know a lot of Twitch people do that. It's still interesting, like, to have someone respond and talk, that's nice, but, like, if you're doing something for someone who doesn't even know that you exist, like, your existence means nothing. You could die tomorrow, and she wouldn't it's nothing. You're literally nothing. You're a speck of dust. That's when it's a problem. Like, there are so many people out there, like, they got so much money, like, they could lose half of their fan base and not fucking care because they've got all this money that you've given them. "Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
but it's the
Bad.
right
No.
angle.
No. No.
But it's the right angle.
No, that doesn't look good. You
It
should
looks
go
fine.
back."
You can actually like read
No.
my hat, like you could see the Empire Strikes Back poster, like it's actually being read
What is
correctly.
this? Hey, what does this say?
Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah, so, you go back. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, it is okay. It's correct on the thing. I got you. Never mind. Sorry.
Wait, is this backwards for you?
No.
Exactly. It's
But
like looking
it's
at it.
weird because in the Logitech app, it's backwards. And then on
Wait, what?
Discord, it's not.
It's too late. It's too late for you. We're just gonna keep it the way
With
it is.
what? I know I have horizontally flipped source on, but like still
Where hold on. Which source is it backwards in?
horizontally.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, I should have been a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
Is it backwards on Logitech or Discord?
Oh, Logitech. But Discord's
Okay.
using Logitech to that's I just got confused.
Okay. So if it's backwards in Logitech,
I know it redoes it in Discord. Whatever.
okay.
It,
So
yeah, I know.
you have to think what you're seeing. So if it's backwards in Logitech, that means that people are seeing it backwards. So I see it right in Logitech, which means you're seeing it right. So I'm reading your shit backwards. So technically,
On the recording on OBS, it shows that it's correct. So it's fine.
interesting.
Yes.
I don't like that you're upside down. Hey,
You know, it brings a whole different vibe to the
wait,
whole podcast.
hold on. I want to see if you get this reference. We're both upside down.
I get the reference.
Do you?
No.
You told me you saw the movie.
Oh, you're gonna make me remember a garbage movie? I saw the movie like 3 days ago. I've already forgotten most of it.
You're
Alrighty.
disgusting.
Sorry. Black Widow 6. Forgot to review on the podcast. It's a 6 for me.
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah.
The villain definitely hurts it a lot. Other than that, 8.
Yeah. Well, alrighty, guys. I started the
Alrighty.
outro like 45 minutes ago, but that's all right. It's been a
Yeah.
long outro.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're on iHeartRadio, please follow us. Spotify, follow us. Yeah, that was nice.
Thank you.
Um,
Did you mean it?
I'll keep that for myself.
Did you mean it?
I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
Yep. Alrighty, we'll see you guys next week.